Hey McNair readers, it's Friday. You've made it through another week of online school, and I've got a story for you. So, as some of you know, my mom and dad like to watch my videos, and my dad said, I want you to do a book where you can talk about me. So, I was looking around at all of my books, and I could probably talk about my dad for a lot of these books, but I thought this one was a perfect book just for him. It's called H is for Honor, a military family alphabet. And some of you guys know that when I was growing up, I was part of a military family. I mean, I still am part of a military family. My dad was in the Marine Corps for 36 years. Yeah, so that's why he has a funny name. His name is actually Slick. Have you ever met anybody with the name Slick? It's a funny name. And I know we have a lot of military families at McNair. I think Jada's family was a military family, and I know Miss Blackwood's son is in the Navy, and I know there's a bunch more that I'm just not thinking of off the top of my head. But so for all of those military families that we have at McNair, this book is dedicated to you and my dad, Slick. H is for Honor. And this book was written by Devin Cillian and illustrated by Victor, who, I don't know how to say this last name, Juhas, maybe? Victor, I appreciate your drawings. I'm sorry I don't know how to say your last name. The dedication says, for Mom, Dad, Troy, Marty, Casey, Whiskers, and Charlie, the best family anyone could ask for. And you know what? In my family, we also had a Whiskers. Can you guess what kind of animal Whiskers was? I bet you don't know. And then that's what Devin said. Victor said, for my son, Lieutenant Corporal Benjamin Augustus Juhas. USMC, that means he was a Marine too. Oh my goodness. There we go. Wow. A. Give me an A for Army and an A for Air Force too. An A for all the armed services behind the red, white, and blue. They stand at attention, tall and proud, all impeccably dressed. An A for the American Armed Forces, and an A for the world's very best. Beautiful uniforms. And I want to point something out on this. There's like a story, and then there's a lot longer explanation for each of these. So if you're interested in any of the longer explanations, just leave a comment, and I'll read what those are, or I'll send you a picture of it so you know. No offense, but the letter B means that you're a brat. It's true. Your brother and your sister too, and there's nothing wrong with that. Military kids are known as brats, but far from wild or bad, they serve their country in their own way, just like their mom or dad. Yeah, so that term brat isn't used in a bad way. It's actually a loving term. Any Marine will tell you the letter C should stand for core. It takes courage and character. It takes commitment and more. From Camp Lejeune, and actually it looks like Lejeune, but I learned it's actually Lejeune because my parents live near now, to Pendleton, which is, fun fact, where Dr. Orgel was born. The Marine Corps stands by, ready to go wherever. They're called true to Semper Fi. Don't you dare dally, and don't be late. Stand at attention, ramrod straight. D is the drill sergeant, making things rough. You'll thank him someday for being so tough. The Navy SEALs, the Green Berets, the Army Rangers, of course, special tactics, MEUs, and the daring Delta Force. E is for elite force. They're trained with extra care. They know too well when duty calls. Danger may be there. Oh, the elite force. Here's the drill sergeant, and here's the training of the elite force. Behind each sailor, behind each soldier, somebody somewhere cares. Behind each airman, coastie, and marine, someone is saying their prayers. Wherever Americans fight for freedom, they quickly learn F's for the families, first and foremost, who wait for their return. G is just a game. It's just a game, you say? Those in the Army and Navy don't quite see it that way. The Army-Navy football game is a November celebration of the honor and spirit of those who choose to serve their mighty nation. And actually, fun fact, I know somebody who played in the Army-Navy game. Yeah, some of my friends did. So there's the families waiting at home. And look what they're reading. They're reading the same book we are. There's that Army-Navy game. It's a really, really big game every time. Oh, you know who else is in the military? Miss Moses's mom. She was like a big-time general in the military, too. Not everyone hears it. It's just a few, but there's no denying it once you do. When your country calls, you do your part. So H is for honor in the American heart. I'm trying to look. It looks like they might be going into the belly of a C-130. I don't know. Hard to tell in this illustration, but you know who would know? That's right. Slick would know. You're visiting HQ to see the CO. You're surrounded by several officials. You're also surrounded by so many letters, and that's why I is for initials. R&R, TDY, a night at the BOQ, and when you're hungry, it's good to know an MRE will do. Fun fact for you guys, MRE stands for Meals Ready to Eat. And my dad, yep, there's Slick again, was saying that he doesn't have to worry about grocery stores running out of food because he has MREs. Also, just so you guys know, they're kind of gross. But it gets the job done, right? I think MREs are very similar to what the astronauts eat. The letter J is just the thing to get from here to there. Here's one racing down the road, and there's another one up in the air. Jeeps and jets take different routes, but both of them help prove the military can't keep still. It's always on the move. This was a little bit silly. Pucker up for the letter K for a kiss of fabulous flair, captured in a famous photo on a corner in Times Square. A happy sailor and a happy gal had learned the war was done. Their sweeping kiss captured the joy when World War II was won. It's a very famous image. There's the jets and jeeps. Miles from home, too hot or too cold, lonely for months on end, L arrives in a big green sack. It's the letters that you send. The leaves are turning, the farm is fine, the puppy keeps chasing his tail. There's nothing better than getting a letter from home in a big bag of mail. Yeah, it's so nice when you're really far from home to get letters from your friends and family. Even if you're not in the military, writing letters is a really nice thing to do. The letter M means military police, better known as MPs. When you live on a post or a military base, you'll need a few of these. They guard the base and keep the place as secure as it can be. When you arrive at the entrance gate, MPs are the first you see. Yeah, that's one of the jobs in the military, is to be a military police person. Whoa. Up in the air is a fighter jet, or deep down in a submarine. Above the ocean, beneath the sea, and everywhere in between. We're riding the tide, deep blue and green, constantly churning and wavy. On ships very small and impossibly large, our N stands for Navy. Wow, yeah, look at that ship that they have. Miss Blackwood's son is on a ship in the Navy right now, so we can all think about him and send some good wishes his way. I know she's thinking about him a lot during this time. Ooh, military families tend to move across nations, states, and borders. The letter O means pack your bags, for you just got your orders. When you get orders, that means that's the little paperwork that says it's time to move. 2 years here, 3 years there, your family's on the go. Your orders mean a brand new part of the world for you to know. Yeah, you guys want to know all the orders that Dr. Orgel had? Oh my gosh. So, I was born in California. Then we got orders and we moved to Italy. Then we got orders and we moved to Virginia. Then we got orders and we moved to mainland Japan. And then we got orders and we moved back to Virginia. Then we got orders again and we moved back to Japan. And I stayed there till I graduated high school. And then I went to you-know-where, the best college ever, University of Florida. And my parents got orders and went back to Virginia. Whew, back and forth, lots of moving. Our letter P will make you proud and cause a little commotion. Here's a hug and handshake too. For P is for promotion. To move along one rank to the next takes drive and dedication, so each and every promotion is a cause for celebration. Yeah, every time you get to be a new rank, that's called getting promoted. Just like how we have 5th grade promotion before you go on to middle school. Same thing here. Or I think some of you guys are in the martial arts and you may advance to another belt. Same thing. It's a big honor. If someone asks about your quarters, I know it may sound funny, but they'd like to know about your home, not about your money. Q is for quarters, which means your house, perhaps on government land. Uncle Sam provides you with quarters, but they won't fit in your hand. That's right. And so sometimes when we moved with my family, we lived on base quarters, and that means that the government gave us like a house or an apartment sometimes, and other times we lived out in the community like our families of McNair. This man's getting a promotion. That's their quarters. That's where they live. Rise and shine for the letter R early every day. R is the sound of reveille, heard from miles away. We raise the flag as the bugler plays with the rising of the sun. He'll play retreat to lower the flag later when the day is done. And if you are on a military base, people actually stop what they're doing when this is played. Even cars too, they just stop and they stand at attention for it. Or at least some of the bases I've been on, maybe not all of them. You'll have to tell me if you were on a base and you heard that. Sometimes the job is far away. Sometimes it's for so long. Sometimes a war is being fought and we're asked to be so strong. S stands for sacrifice in the special American way of doing what's right for freedom's light to shine on the USA. Yeah, so a lot of our men and women of the military have to go or have gone to wars to try to help our country. Whether on a Coast Guard ship or in the Air Force jet or an Army tank or a Navy sub, you can certainly bet that you'll see people work together, busy as they can be. I think you'll find that teamwork suits us to a T. Yeah, teamwork is so important. It's essential, actually, for all members of the military and probably all jobs. I can't think of a job where you don't need teamwork. From Army green to desert brown, from white to navy blue, our U stands for uniform, graceful, proud, and true. From a Marine's dress blues to a soldier's fatigues, on this we can agree, the uniform of the USA is a symbol of being free. That's right. So all the different branches of the military have different outfits or uniforms that they wear on different occasions. V reminds us of all who marched these paths before. Veterans are bound by the gift of service through times of peace and war. Old and young faces saluting the flag that waves in the sky above, all were willing to give their lives for the country that they love. Yeah, so like we said, a lot of them have been in wars. Many of them have lost their lives too. For many years, if you saw a soldier, you were looking at a he. That's right, for a long time it was only boys allowed. But times have changed, and now that soldier might just be a she. So W is for women, defending our nation and lives. They're all-American mothers, sisters, daughters, and wives. Super cool. Yeah, girl power. There's a lot of women in the different armed forces. This woman is a pilot. So cool. The X stands for exchange, which is where you'll want to stop when you live on base or live on post. You'll need a place to shop. An exchange is a kind of department store with goods from near and far. It's a PX to some, a BX to others, depending on where you are. Yeah, that's the name of the store where you go shopping. Y is the reason they do the thing they do. They put their lives on the line and they do it all for you. For you to live a life that's free in a nation proud and strong, be glad there are those who go to work taking your dreams along. Z can stand for Zulu, but as odd as it may sound, Zulu sometimes stands for Z. It's the other way around. Zulu for Z, Alpha for A, and Oscar for the letter O. The military uses some special words to talk on the radio. Yeah, so if you are trying to spell out something for someone and they can't, sometimes when you say things, letters sound the same, like a B or a D or a C or a D, right? Like a Z, a lot of those sound the same if you're saying them kind of fast, so you would spell it out. So, for instance, Orgel, we would say O as in Oscar, R as in Romeo, G as in golf, E as in echo, and L as in Lima. And that's kind of the code that they would use. And that's the end of the book. So to all of our men and women in the military who are working right now and are considered essential personnel, and especially our military families at McNair, and also my own military family and my dad Slick, this book's for you. Remember, work hard, be nice, and wash your hands.